Gravity is my enemy. What's he doing?
He's retrieving a satellite.
How can he move like that? He must weigh a ton.
Remember, everything is weightless in space, Danny.
Can you imagine getting up there in the middle of the universe? You're so light, your whole body just floats, and you go tumbling and spinning. And you don't need to use more than your fingertip to move any object, no matter how heavy it is on Earth. Wouldn't you want to go if you could feel like that? Yeah. The director of the astronaut training program. On behalf of me and my friends, we would like to become astronauts.
Space is not for you.
Why not?
Be inspired by failure, not defeated. And above all, be sure of your goal.
Lynn Redgrave stars in Walking on Air on Wonderworks.
Wonderworks is made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, with additional funding from this station and other public television stations, and the National Endowment for the Arts.
Rise. 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 Rise? Oh, come on. Amy! Amy, look! Look, I got it to work.
Wow!
Look at him go.
How did you do it?
That was stupendous, Danny. Only
Thank
I
you.
thought you were getting
Thank
up early
you.
for another reason. Something to do with science homework?
I was.
The bus is here.
Sorry, Mom.
Danny, Amy, you have to eat something.
Hey.
Don't worry about it. I'll help you clean up your room later. Okay?
All right.
No, I promise. Don't worry about it.
You okay?
Yep.
Okay, move your legs.
No problem.
Okay. Ready, sit down?
Watch this. Presto changeo.
Go.
Okay, you can't leave it up too much. There you go, Amy. Okay, Danny. Here you go. Right. Now be careful.
Okay, bye, Mom.
You have plenty of time.
Hey,
Bye.
before you go, which one?
Blue.
Bye, Dad.
Bye-bye. Be careful. Okay. Oh, no, don't you start.
Good morning, Mr. Mikowski.
Good morning, Danny.
Nice day, huh?
Lovely day.
Race you to school?
What? Get back here. I can't race you to school. Danny, get back on the bus.
scienziato italiano Galileo. Galileo, the late, very great Italian scientist, was one of the very first to experiment with falling objects. Look what happens when I drop a rock and a feather at the same time. Yeah, just as expected, right?
Right.
Now, look what happens when one of our very early space pioneers performs exactly the same experiment on the moon using a hammer instead of a rock. Excuse the video, because it's kind of primitive.
I guess one of the reasons we got here today was because of a gentleman named Galileo who made a rather significant discovery. The feather happens to be appropriately a falcon feather, and I'll drop the two of them here, and hopefully they'll hit the ground at the same time. How about that?
I think this calls for a magician to explain this phenomena. Danny!
Trick props. Well, either the hammer is hollow or the feather's made of lead.
Yeah, a good try. Emily?
All objects fall at the same speed in a vacuum.
Oh, brava, Emily. Oh, by the way, on the moon, everything is 1/6 of its weight on Earth, so that means that our astronaut weighs only about 30 pounds, but he still has the same amount of strength, however, so just imagine what he could do under those conditions. Oh, arrivederci.
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 Danny, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
What would it take for me to get you interested in science?
Magic.
What is it with you today? You killed Bukowski on the way to school, and now you can't even sink one lousy bass, Jason.
Don't you want anything more than this?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind winning once in a while. Besides that, quit it, Danny.
Hey, Stevens, you got legs? Use them.
Did you see that? Did you see that awesome leap? I think the ball hit the court before he did. You don't have to leap when you play like that.
Trick props. Well, either the hammer is hollow or the feather's made of lead.
So just imagine what he could do under those conditions.
You don't have to leap when you play like that.
By the sound of those wheels, that must be Danny Pearson.
What's he doing?
He's retrieving a satellite.
How can he move like that? He must weigh a ton.
Remember, everything is weightless in space, Danny.
Right. You float.
You need me for anything in particular?
Here's my homework. Stuff I didn't do from last week. Have you ever been up there, Mrs. Hepp?
Once. My husband and I interviewed to teach in the first space station.
What was it like?
It was simply the most amazing adventure of our lives. Being out there, I started to look at myself in a very different way. I never felt so small, yet so important and free.
Why didn't you stay?
I didn't get the job. For months after I returned, I'd forget I was here. I'd waltz into the kitchen to get a glass of water. And when I was done, instead of placing it back in the sink, I'd just stick it straight out in midair. After I'd broken every glass in the place, I realized I was back on Earth.
You all right? Okay, I didn't hurt myself.
See, I told you it was the mug.
Sorry, Dad.
No, it's okay. I'll make you another one.
Danny, please. No more magic at 11 o'clock at night.
Good night.
Wasn't magic.
Oh, thank you, children. Thank you. Could you stop this thing, please? So much for centrifugal force. Thank you very much. May I have your hand? Thank you. Sir Isaac Newton, the brilliant English scientist, made many important discoveries during the 17th century. One of them was the law of gravity, which you reviewed in your homework last week. Now, who would like to define the law of gravity? Danny.
Gravity's my enemy.
No, I think you misunderstood, Danny. I was looking for a definition, not an opinion. Anyone else? Marianne.
Let me think. Gravity is...
But it is my enemy.
Danny, gravity is just a fact of life. It's not a friend or an enemy.
It's the force that draws everything towards the center mass of the Earth, or any other planet in the universe. More simply, it's the force that holds everything down. For some of you, that's not as big a problem as it is for others. I guess some of us get a little tired of being held down. So to me, gravity is my enemy.
You were incredible in class today, Danny.
Somebody has to give you some competition.
But I think you got it a little mixed up.
I did?
You're confusing gravity with issues completely out of its control.
Oh my God.
What? The hammer and the feather.
Magic, levitation, cars flying out of decks. I can't believe it.
What's he talking about?
Don't you get it? Don't you see what I've always wanted to do is go to space?
Don't forget to write.
Jason! Emily, I did it! I did it! Maybe it is possible. Maybe I could go.
Are you kidding?
Just go underwater.
Hey, they don't want us underwater. It's dangerous.
Well, the astronauts train underwater.
N-O. Danny, I hate to burst your spacesuit, but I don't think you're exactly ideal astronaut material.
Okay. So So did little Young. But can you imagine getting up there in the middle of the universe? You're so light, your whole body just floats, and you go tumbling and spinning. And you don't need to use more than your fingertip to move any object, no matter how heavy it is on Earth. Wouldn't you want to go if you could feel like that?
Yeah. It doesn't matter. Why bother thinking about what could never happen anyway?
Jason? Emily's right. You should think about other things, Danny. Sure.
He's gonna come out! Mr. Shaver, come quick! Danny!
Come on, Barb. It's not that big a deal.
Oh. Sure, hon. Stir the veg.
Okay.
So, we're just gonna let it disappear.
And the morning dinner anyway.
What you did was really dangerous. Come here.
Mom, I can hold my breath for 90 seconds.
Yeah, but Mr. Schaefer didn't know that.
Did you know that astronauts train underwater for all their EVAs?
Oh, yeah? What's an EVA?
Extravehicular activities, like repairing a satellite. See, on Earth, there's really no way of experiencing true weightlessness.
Danny, you're hardly an astronaut.
Yeah.
Oh. See, I'm thinking of going
Oh, yeah. Where?
to space.
Neat.
Would you mind telling me how you plan on getting there?
In the space vehicle.
Well, at least I'm glad you didn't stay in your chair.
Oh, I won't need it up there. You don't believe me, do you?
Danny, we believe you are capable of doing anything you wanted.
You don't believe me.
Are you all right?
One day, Amy, when I get to the top, I'm going to keep on going. I'm not going to stop till I'm walking on air.
I believe you, Danny.
Don't worry about it, Barb. He's a smart kid. He can take care of himself.
The director of the astronaut training program. My name is Danny Pearson. Since birth, I've been paralyzed from the waist down. I understand that the request I'm making is a little unusual. Nevertheless, on behalf of me and my friends, we would like to become astronauts. So far, present rules exclude us from going to the only place where we might have a chance to feel free.
What are you doing this weekend?
I'm going to a cosmonaut concert.
Oh, I couldn't get tickets for that.
Too bad.
We're having a pool party.
They could make a space program to suit us. I'm sure of it.
Would you get serious?
Then what are you going to accept? That there's some things we just can't do. We can't dunk.
But we could. In space.
Stop it! Would you just stop it? We're never going to space. Never, ever. So forget it.
I'm here to see Senator Bean.
Do you have an appointment?
No, I don't.
I'm sorry. He's very busy. Excuse me. Where are you going? Senator?
That's all right, Dora. You seem rather determined. What can I do for you?
I'm interested in space.
Oh, what kind of space? Office space?
No, space. Outer space. I'm interested in going there. See, I wrote this letter to NASA and they didn't pay much attention to it, so I thought if you could help.
Well, space is really out of my jurisdiction.
So you mean you won't help?
Young man, there are so many programs for people like you right here on Earth that I started, I might add. Now, take a look at this clock. This clock was given to me by the fathers of our city for putting rampways in our lovely parks and gardens. And these beautiful pyramids.
I wonder where the dinosaurs are.
I heard they have the best new food exhibit on the first floor, and they're giving out free samples.
Let's go.
Mrs. Zapp? Is that what you went on when you went to space?
No, Danny, I'm not that old. My Lord, what pioneers they were.
They went all the way to the moon and that. Up close, it seems so small.
That's all it took to make a big dream come true.
It's too bad Galileo and Newton weren't around for all this, huh?
Oh, something tells me they know.
Although it is impossible to accurately reproduce the conditions in outer space, the wet F, a 30-foot deep pool, provides an excellent simulation. Working underwater, astronauts are able to test...
Your moon weight is 22.
22!
Spaceflights certainly have their lighter moments. Once free of the Earth's gravitational pull, the fun begins. Here we see the crew of Crusader 5 hamming it up for the video cameras.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah, think so. What are you thinking?
Look, it's from NASA. Dear Mr. Pearson.
Oh my gosh, that's you.
We appreciate your situation. However, at this time, we do not have a special training program to suit your needs. The present space training program involves rigorous preparation and careful screening. Thank you for your interest and support. Sincerely, Peter McDowell, NASA Administrator. Will you shut off my computer?
I think we've done about all we can do. Senator said forget it. Response from Washington was zip. NASA said no to you. And the astronauts gave me the big brush off.
Vandenberg. Have we heard from them?
No, nothing.
Well, we've got to do more. We're just not thinking big enough.
Hi, Jason. Hi, Emily. Hi, Danny. Dad just took away your space floppies.
Oh, great.
I think I'll be going right behind you.
on, guys.
Emily? Jason?
You guys sure can't clear a room.
Look, Danny, this space nonsense has got to stop. I can't be responsible for Jason, and I can't be responsible for Emily, but I am responsible for you.
Honey, we think it's great that you love magic and are fascinated by space.
You know, when I was a kid, I had my fantasy world, too. I still do. But the difference between then and now is that I've been able to make some of those fantasies surface in a realistic way. Like my pottery, for instance.
It's not a fantasy.
Fine, call it what you want. But I know one thing for certain. For you, space is not even a possibility.
Honey, you can't expect them to change the space program overnight.
What if they could?
Space is not for you.
Why not? Go ahead and say it.
We all know why not.
My mother is usually very cool about me not being different, but this time she really lost it.
Of course, my parents thought it was a big joke. Some joke, huh?
Yeah, I guess they're not going to make space for us after all. Let him go, Jason.
Mrs. Hepp? Mrs. Hepp! Well?
Mrs. Hepp, am I asking for too much? Should I just forget about becoming an astronaut?
Oh, Lord. Well, that certainly explains your newfound interest in science, doesn't it?
I guess if NASA turned me down, there's no way I can really do it, huh?
I was turned down for years before I went. Hey, what do you say we talk about this in depth after we unclutter our minds with a little yoga?
Yoga?
Yeah. Clear mind?
I can't tell.
Give me your first thought. Quick, no dawdling.
To be out of gravity's reach.
Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Release it slowly. Now, float. Keep floating.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I feel like I'm really there.
Your eyes are still closed. Now very gently open them.
Wow. Space.
You created all that in your own mind. How about that? Let's keep going, okay?
Sure. This is great.
Close your eyes. Remember where you are. Take a deep breath. Slowly release it. Now, what if you were to find out that what you're asking for is impossible?
I know what you're getting at, Mrs. Hepp. But I've still got to try. I've got to.
I know. And while you're trying, keep in mind that the world does not say yes so easily. Be inspired by failure, not defeated. And above all, be sure of your goal.
My mind's clear.
Amy,
Yeah?
did Danny say he was going someplace after school?
I didn't see him.
Go call Jason and tell him to send him home. He's probably over there.
Okay.
Thanks.
That looks a little lopsided, Dad. I'll be right back.
It is 6 o'clock. The museum is now closed.
Please, if you hear anything, Mrs. Hepp. Thank you. Goodbye.
I'm gonna go looking for him.
I'll call the police. Hello? Yes, I'd like to report my son missing. His hair is blonde. No, sandy blonde. It keeps changing.
Oh, Barb, please. He's in a wheelchair.
Oh, God. We got him so upset.
Well, if he were coming home, is there any other street he might have taken?
I don't know. I just don't know. Barb.
Sometimes he goes down the alleys.
Okay. We'll try that then.
I'm sorry. We'll find him, okay? Bye.
I'll stay here by the phone. Hello? Oh, hello, Emily. No, we haven't heard from him. Thank you. Yes, I will.
interest story is developing on the scene of the Bradbury Space Museum. 12-year-old Danny Pearson, confined to a wheelchair, has managed to lock himself inside the Century space capsule on loan from NASA as a protest against ignoring his pleas to go to space. The boy insists he will not come out of the capsule until Houston agrees to give him and his friends a fair hearing. It all began, Danny said, with a routine turndown from NASA. Attempts to enlist
I want to see all my recent correspondence.
States Senator
Immediately.
also failed.
Peter, who is this kid?
You've got to come out, Danny. Please, open the hatch.
Son, there's no sense in this.
Oh, hi, Jason. You're up late. Excuse me. Can you mind out?
Bill, he looks so tired.
Do you think he's getting air in there?
I don't know what else to do.
He's not going to come out.
Of course he'll come out. He can't stay in there forever.
Hello, Mrs. Pearson.
Hello, Mrs. Hep. Bill, this is Danny's science teacher.
I've got Danny's science test here.
Well, this is hardly the time, Mrs. Hebb, for...
I'd like you to look at it, please. What is it?
Got 100.
You have to be pretty decent in science to go into space. I'm afraid I encouraged him.
To do this?
Oh, no, not exactly this. See, in that capsule was a young man who was expressing a burning desire, and as soon as I spotted it, I knew it had to be nurtured, had to be supported. Now, I'm not here to condone what's happened today, Mr. and Mrs. Pearson, though I do think it's pretty fabulous, but I'm here to take my share of the blame.
Wait a minute. You let our son believe he could actually go into space?
Danny is confined to a wheelchair.
Yes, I did, if the possibility arose in the near future.
How could you encourage him?
Same way I'd encourage anyone with a dream.
Even if it's dangerous and unrealistic?
Dangerous, yeah, could be. Unrealistic. Who are we to say? Well, I know how the both of you must feel, but I'd be betraying Danny if I tried to talk him out of it. Wish I could help.
I think we've had enough help, Mrs. Hebb. Thank you.
It's been 14 hours since Danny Pearson locked himself inside the Century capsule. Officials here were hoping to avert costly damage to the capsule, but all efforts of persuasion have failed. Talk now of employing a laser.
Necessary. Hold everything.
You'll have your hearing. You've got my word.
Now, I'll grant you, Mr. Pearson, that in zero G you would float like anybody else. That does not mean that you have the necessary physical stamina to undertake the rigorous and often grueling duties of an... What is that you're doing?
Well, it's a wheelie.
It's a what?
A wheelie. I hold the record in the school district for 5.5 hours. Most of the time you use it in sports like basketball. Like this.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we adjourn?
Yeah, I'd like to say something. I understand what I did was kind of illegal. I guess I just got so caught up in wanting to go, I didn't stop and think. Anyway, I just wanted to say whatever you decide is okay with me. Oh, and I apologize for all the trouble.
Thank you, Mr. Pearson. Thank you.
Gentlemen, ladies. That boy is to be commended for his resourcefulness. That's a housewife from Indiana.
In response to Danny Pearson's plea, Lovell Industries would like to underwrite a training program that will address the special needs of future space travelers.
I've never seen anything like this. I understand there's more, lots more. In my response to your letter, dated May 16th, there is one minor correction to the text that I would like to make at this time. I stated, and I quote, "At this time, we do not have a special training program to suit your needs," end quote. If you remove the word "not," the letter should read correctly.
We do have this. Mr. McDowell!
At the end of the school year, you and the other young recruits will report to the Johnson Space Center, parents permitting, and begin the modified training program.
Yahoo!
Child has enough problems here on Earth. It's not fair. It's not fair to you. Not fair? I don't know how you can talk about something not being
Jason
fair.
is too young, and he is disabled.
All right, please, let's not argue anymore. Just seems to me that some of us here need to get over our own handicaps. That's it. I'm through.
You know, I was just like Kevin here. Every corner I turned, I was scared for my son. I was scared he'd get hurt. I was scared he'd fail. I was just plain scared. But guess what I found out? He got around just about every corner fine without my help. I'm not completely sure about space for Danny, but he is, and that counts for something. We're just not ready for this yet.
No.
Yes. Yes. Good luck.
restart is complete. Recorder start.
I don't know what to say. Wouldn't be going if it weren't for you. No. If it weren't for you. Afraid.
Liquid hydrogen tanks are at flight pressure. Firing system is armed. We have a go for auto sequence start.
Computer is now in command of countdown. We have a go for main engine ignition.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1,
We have ignition
0.
and liftoff.
Roll maneuver completed. EVA-1 Houston, tell us your IRT status. EVA-1 Houston, have a good time.
WonderWorks was made possible by a grant from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting, with additional funding from this station and other public television stations, and the National Endowment for the Arts.